Happy mother effing New Year. Happy 2021. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Chrissy, also known as HBI Chrissy, also known as Unpopular Locs, also known as Chrissy's Unpopular Locs, also known as Whimsical Locs. I know it's a lot. So I really just wanted to give you some highlights. Hopefully it's brief, my top 20 highlights for 2020. Minor description, not too much in depth. I tried doing this video before and it went over the top. It was like an hour and a half long and I was like, wait, what am I even talking about right now? How did we get stuck on that topic? So I'm doing it again, and hopefully this is a 20-minute or less video. If you hear kids in the background, they're upstairs killing each other. Don't mind them. They're just killing each other. Regular shit. Anywho, if this is your first time here, just a quick introduction on myself. I just voice my opinions. They're very unpopular. For the most part, I don't think there's anything wrong with my opinions. I just feel like they're just unpopular opinions. I'm not nasty. I'm not rude. I'm not disrespectful. I just voice my opinions, and a lot of people like to look at it as like, oh, she thinks she's all of that. I'm like, bitch, only on Sundays. Only when I got my makeup done. Anyways, that's beside the point. So let's just get into the top 20 highlights for me in 2020. So for starters, 2020 was crazy. We all know this. It was crazy. And fortunately for me, despite everything that has happened and occurred within the world, some of us, I'm not going to speak for me, but some of y'all voted for y'all president and voted y'all other president out. Of course, COVID had came through with the craziest deadly force, for some, and just for everyone, it just completely changed our way of life as we ever known it. Okay, we had to change a lot. Some of us, me, did end up losing a job because of COVID. But let's just start off with one of my top 20s. I started a business amidst the pandemic. And I think that's a highlight for a lot of people, especially small Black business owners. There was a lot of small Black owned businesses that had erupted like crazy. I started my business before the stimulus check, so let's just get that straight. It's called income tax. I flipped that, yes. Regardless, a lot of people paid attention to the pandemic, and I've seen something that said, if this year, talking about 2020, ain't bring the hustler out of you, it's not in you, boo, period. And I really believe that, because everybody that had a hustling bone, I don't know if it was the pandemic, I don't know if it was the fact that you lost a job, these people got you effed up, I don't know what it was, but whatever it was in our DNA, them Black owned businesses emerged, and it came through with a full force. So I would say for me, that is probably one of the biggest highlights for me in 2020. I started my own business. I have an LLC. I am wearing some of my jewelry. If you would like, you can check me out. These are all natural gemstones. I do custom orders, or you could, if you see something that you like, on my business IG page at Chrissy_beads on IG, you can most certainly shoot me a message, or reach out to me the best way you know how, and that will be that, and place your order there. I am working on my website. I'm lying. I did work on my website and then I stopped. It's a lot, but it's going to get done, and I pay monthly for that domain. Okay, so it's going to get done. Okay, preferably. But needless to say, overall, I am very proud of myself. When times got hard, when times got tight, I was going to say hot. When times got tight, the hustler that never left. I'm a hustler, always made money, always got money. Legal for the most part, very legal. But it just emerged and it blossomed, and that was a big takeaway for me. That's something that I took into 2021. My LLC, baby. If you ain't got one, get you one. Okay, so another thing on my list, you know, us girly girls, you know, we ain't been getting our eyebrows done, our nails done, our toes done. That's a big takeaway for me for 2020, because I started to look into, I'm like super big on getting my nails done, and I haven't got my nails done at this point like in like 2 months. And it was just like, I can't keep doing this. So I started to look up like different options to do my nails at home. And I started coming across Polygel kits, nail kits. And that's how I've been doing my nails ever since. I've brought the electric nail file and everything. So that's a big takeaway for me, because I spend so much money a year getting my nails done and toes done alone. And I'm not even spending a quarter of that. I'm not even spending half of that quarter. You feel me? Like, I don't spend no money getting my nails done, because I do it whenever I want. Now, no, they may not be perfect. Sometimes they are. Sometimes I do a really, really good job. And again, excuse the noise. But sometimes I do a really, really good job, and then sometimes I'm just lazy and just like, I'm trying to get it done and over with. A lot of times I don't record videos because my nails are busted, and I'm like, I'm not going on video with my nails busted again. In the last video, my nails was busted. Like, I'm not doing that. So that was another big takeaway for me for 2020. I want to talk about tithes and offering. I believe tithes and offering, I started my tithes and offering journey in, I believe, September of 2018 or 2019. 2018. I started it. I can't remember, y'all, but I posted a video. It was 2019 because last year was 2020. So I started it in 2019. I posted a video about me wanting to, begin this tithe and offering journey. And, because I grew up in church, and I always heard, a lot of people told me you should always pay your tithes, and that's just the one thing you should do. And then I started hearing people saying they get so blessed and are so covered, financially, and prosperity is abundant in their lives because of their trust and putting their money back into the church and giving it back to God, that 10% that you should. So all my life, I felt like, I did it here and there, but I never was consistent. I have been consistent since 2019, and that's Glade spraying, y'all. But anyways, I have been consistent since 2019, and I'm telling you guys, as a witness, God is my witness, it works, okay? Like, I really wish I would have listened to people a long time ago, but paying your tithes on time and giving and all of that definitely comes back to you. I really believe that's a big reason why my family was not affected in any way. Even when I lost my job and had no income, God still covered me, and that's when he brought that boss out of me, you feel me, and blessed my business way more than I seen a hobby turned business go, and that's another thing. I'm able to do what I want with my hobby turned business because it's still a hobby of mine that I make money off of. But at the same time, God doubled what I thought I was, he did his thing with that. And I believe a lot of that comes from the obedience and putting my trust in God and saying, here, take your money off the rip, and me getting blessed 10, triple, 15 billion times fold. Now I'm exaggerating on the billion, but we're going to speak it into existence, okay? So another big takeaway, me being consistent with my tithes and offering is the reason why I wasn't impacted in a major way financially, and I thank God for that. Another thing that I learned that was a big takeaway or highlight for 2020, I had a very bad spending habit, and I still do. Whew, yes, I do. But for the first time in my life, I was able to save and stack and stack and save. And set little goals and stack some more, and set other little goals and stack some more. And I've been saving and stacking more than I have ever done in my life. I never even thought I was capable of saving a month worth of checks, you know what I mean? Like, and watching that thing triple in my savings account, like that was amazing. And now that I had gotten a taste of that, it's something that I continue to do, and something that I also carried into 2021. I thank God for that. Now, if only we can get our credit in order, then we're talking. But that's this year. That's going to be this year. Okay. George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, the blessings that came for me from my business. It is my job and it's my business. But the things that, because I was getting blessed, I wanted to put back. It happened like at a time where the Black Lives Matter movement was so strong, and the protests were happening all over the world. And, I'm at home. I wasn't going to go out there if it wasn't a pandemic, because I'm very rah-rah. You know what I mean? I turn up. So, if need be, I would have turned up out there and probably got myself in jail. So I don't need that, because I'm very passionate about being Black. I'm not a pro, activist or whatever case may be. I'm not a Black Panther or anything like that, but I do love being Black, and I do love my Black people. So therefore, it hurt me and affected me, as a lot of things were coming to light in social media. Again, I wasn't really on social media like that, so I just got back on, and I'm starting to see a lot of different stories and videos and things that I didn't learn because I've been off of social media. And these are other people bringing it to the forefront. This is not something that they have in the news every day. You know what I mean? But George Floyd's death and Breonna Taylor, they were just a couple of the deaths that happened in 2020 that just stood out. And it's just a blatant disrespect. So therefore, I did give back to an organization that specifically gears towards, just changing the way police go about handling us Blacks. Okay. And I will also leave the link to that in the description below, talking about the Black-owned business and Black Lives Matter and the things that I've done to give back to a campaign that is actively fighting on our behalf, even in our sleep. So no, I did not go out and protest. I did sign a few petitions, and I did financially give back by, donating some of my proceeds that I made specifically for Black Lives Matters, using the Black Lives Matters colors and putting it back into our community. So that was a big takeaway for me, because I felt like I've done more. Not only was I blessed with my Black-owned business, but I gave back to my Black-owned people. Even though I wasn't able to get out there to protest, I did something, and I took a stand in my own way publicly, and again, made a lot more money than I anticipated. So I thank God for that, and thank God for being able to do something of that magnitude with something that is significant to me. So there you go. Another takeaway I want to talk about would be my locks. My locks have grown a lot. I want to try and post a picture from January. If I don't have a picture in January, I'll post one from December, like the end of December, like Christmas. I know I had pictures like right before, literally like right before New Year's, like it was New Year's Eve or something like that. So I'll take a picture, but my locks have grown a lot in a year. Excuse me. So that's a big takeaway. Sorry, I'm just steady kicking a stand, but that's a big takeaway for me because I took great care of my hair. I do have shave size. It's curling up now, but don't worry, we're going to talk about that in another video because it is growing out. But I am plan on cutting it a few more times before I fully let it grow out. I wanted to, we'll talk about that in another video, but nonetheless, I've learned a lot about my locks, more so within the last year than I have in all the 3+ years of being locked. I learned a lot of mistakes that I have done, just and worked hard on correcting that, and that's where I'm at in my lock care. But I'm very proud of my locks and how far they have come, since September 2017. You feel me? So yeah, my locks are glowing just like I am. When your hair is glowing and healthy, you doing good on the inside just as well as you are on the outside, baby. And that's facts, okay? Ain't nothing dual over here, okay? What's another thing? I did already talk about God's grace covering. Well, I didn't go into depth, but that's definitely a major highlight that I'm carrying over into 2021. Is that me and my family, my immediate family, were not affected at all in any way by COVID thus far, and I am completely thankful for that. We have been taking supplements and vitamins and immune boosters, and immune protectors, and that gives you immunity. And I do plan on doing a video about that soon. Because I still think it's important for me to put that video out there, especially now that the numbers are back rising, but God definitely covered me and my family, my immediate family. It's a lot to say because, I was very conscientious and concerned, especially because I have 2 small babies. I have a mother who's elderly. She old as hell, y'all. I thank God for it because he covered my babies. He covered my mother, even though my babies wasn't allowed to go nowhere, being around nobody but immediate family. So nonetheless, God covered us, and I do plan on coming out with that video that is going to be geared towards what we've been taking to give ourselves immunity, and what we've been doing to build our immunity, so that if in case we did come in contact with something, child, like if there was a little itch on the throat, it was like gone by the end of the evening, that type of stuff. Another takeaway for me would be the semi-dating life. I started dating in 2020. I had my little share of dating. Okay, so before I can get into that, the other takeaway is that I almost got married in 2020, October 1st to be exact, right before my brother got married, October 3rd, but it didn't happen, and it was with my baby Zeddy, y'all. Baby daddy of 3 kids, my last 3. Y'all don't know I have 4 of the mother effers, but yeah, it didn't work out. I was disappointed, not really hurt. I was just disappointed because I was disappointed more so in him than us not working out. But we're not going to give that situation any more light than I've given it in the past. Just know that we did, end up reconnecting, and, we did reconnect, but everything happened so fast. And I don't know what he really wanted. I don't know what his purpose was, what his reasoning was. But for me, maybe I wasn't, doing it for the right reasons, And at the end of the day, I believe we both knew that we just not meant for each other. No matter how long you've been dealing with somebody on and off, like, just not meant to be, So that was the takeaway I can get out of it. I can talk hella shit about him, but I won't, because I've done enough of that on this channel in the past, so no need. I don't wish him well. I wish that he get everything that he got coming to him, because karma's a bitch. Or, you reap what you sow. and be careful what you sow. But I won't have anything to do with that because I did everything that I can do out of the pureness and kindness of my heart. So that's as much as I can say. You know, I'm not one of those people like, oh, I wish you well, this, that. No, I don't. I'm not going to wish you anything. And if I am going to wish you something, I just wish you get what you deserve. And that ain't my fault, you know. We're just going to move on. So because of that, you guys don't know what, it was almost a year since we had broken up, since I left his ass in 2019. And, you know, when we rekindled again. So in that time, I wasn't dealing with anyone. I didn't have sex. We'll get more into my celibacy in a bit, but I wasn't dealing with anyone. So when we resurfaced and it didn't work out, you know, I walked away relieved because it was just like, it's just not going to work. And I'm okay with that now because now I can like set myself free of the chains that I kept myself bounded to in that year while he was doing his own thing. I still was like, still very bound to him, still very much so in love with him and everything. And then I learned when I was with him for the very, very, very short time that I was with him that it's not love, you know? So I walked away this time knowing that I have something else and someone else to look forward to. And my boundaries are my boundaries, and that's just it. What I want is what I want. And if I'm not going to get it, then I am okay with moving on. So with that being said, I was ready to start dating again. You know, if you watched my breakup journey in the past, you knew that I wasn't there, you know, and a big part of that being there is because I haven't fully released my heart from, you know, my ex. But I am now at a place where I can be intimate with another man. And I don't mean sexually, maybe romantically, maybe passionately. And yes, I am still celibate, but I have been, you know, intimate with another man. I was able to share a kiss and have him touch me and, you know, stuff like that. So I was just happy and proud that I came a long way. You know what I mean? And I'm still celibate. I still ain't give him these cookies. You feel me? So I'm just really proud at my progress and my development, my growth, you know, from where I was a year or so ago, okay? And where I'm at now. And no, I'm not with someone. I am still very single, but I am dating. And I still am very celibate, okay? So I am happy about that. That's a big, big takeaway for me in 2020. Another thing was I had a pretty good time this past Christmas and Thanksgiving. This past holiday season was amazing. You know, where I was at 2019, horribly, just broke up from the man that I thought that I loved. And, you know, it was a good Christmas. It was a very blessed Christmas, but a very alone Christmas and somewhat, you know, unsettled. You know, I was happy because we were blessed kind of thing. And I was taken in that moment. But at the same time, I was very uncomfortable in my life in that time. So I made it my point in my business to make this Christmas or this holiday in general different and do what I wanted to do. And I really was. And I owe that all to God. I had a big Thanksgiving dinner for me and my family, you know, my immediate family, which would be my kids, my mom, my stepdad, you know, like my nieces, my cousin, my brother, you know, not my cousins, but I ain't got no cousins here, but my brother, you know, my sister-in-law, you know, like I had, you know, something cute, prepared a big Thanksgiving dinner for the first time, mostly by my damn self. My sister-in-law did chip in or whatever, you know, but she cooked at her house and brought food here. And we just merged our big ass meals together. But it was, you know, my doing, the decorations in the house and everything. Like, believe it or not, this whole get up here cost a lot of money. I'm just saying. And that was God. You know, I just was able to do the holiday the way I wanted to do. I wrote down a Christmas list of the things that the kids wanted and things that I wanted to get them, and everything that I wanted to do, I did, and I was able to do by the grace of God. So in the COVID way, I was able to enjoy this holiday season the way I wanted to do. Everybody that I wanted to get gifts, I got them gifts. I didn't even get much, but that's fine. I brought my own self gifts, okay? And that's what I mean. Like, I just really did this holiday the way I wanted to do it, which was much, much, much different from last year, okay? Just moving around. Another takeaway, I reactivated my Facebook page and reconnected with a lot of people that I haven't connected with in almost 4 years of being deactivated, which was pretty cool. I'm currently deactivated, so yeah, currently deactivated because I just really love to take social media breaks, like, especially when it's a lot going on in the world. Like, Facebook take whatever, especially when it's a lot going on in my town, in the T-town, in the town, in Trenton. Trenton Facebook, they take it and run with that. So, I just like to stay out the mix for a little bit, because I can get caught up. I like to be nosy, okay? I like to be nosy. So I needed to take a break and not be so nosy. And I'll be back eventually doing my nosy snooping again, finding out everybody's business. Because what else are you supposed to do when you're at home? Okay. Another takeaway for me is I lost one job to regain another. So I did go back to work towards the end of this year after the summer. I am working from home for somebody else, not just my business. I was doing that since the summer. But I am working from home in an office setting for the first time in my life, and I love it. I love it. I love it. You see my little office chair? I love working from home. I cannot stress that enough. That is the biggest takeaway, or one of the biggest takeaway going into 2021 from 2020. Is working from home. I enjoy it so much. I really, really believe that that jobs should really give you an option to either come into the office or work from home. Because if they do, I wouldn't come into the office at all. Maybe once a week. Nah, I wouldn't. I got little babies. I ain't got to worry about childcare and all of that. Like, because I'm not required to be on the phone. So I process, okay? I process transactions. So I'm not on the phone, and I just get my job done. And I love working from home. Woo! Okay. And with that being said, while we're on the subject of losing one job to regain another, this is a regain. I did work at this job in the past, and I came back, God presented another opportunity for me to come back to this job, and I'm making even more money than I was making before. I'm not going to get into that until the time comes, so I'm not going to press it, but just know God is great. And that also falls along with them paying the tithes and giving your office. My YouTube channel growth, as you can see, is still under 400, but nonetheless, it came a long way within this past year. And, every milestone I am completely gracious about. So yeah, there you have it. I may not be in 1,000 or 8,000. Now 1,000 followers, subscribers is a big win, because that's when I can start making money and everything. Monetizing, I think I'm saying that right. But yeah, all that great stuff. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my channel the way I have been enjoying my channel. I'm going to continue to enjoy my channel the way I have been continuing to enjoy my channel since I first started my channel. I remember there was a point in time, maybe in 2019, where I was really let down because y'all still, as y'all continue to do, still my ideas and my video, things or whatever the case may be. But I'm not there anymore. I just learned to stop putting so much expectations on something that I actually love to do. I'm not putting any expectations on this channel. I do believe one day it's going to make me some money. I do believe that one day, maybe 10 years from now, but whether it do or don't, I'm still going to continue to shine on my channel, doing what I love to do, doing what I've always done before I had this channel. I've been recording videos like this on my laptop when nobody got to see it, okay? So now the world gets to see it, and it is what it is. Whether you like it, love it, hate it, whatever, I don't care. I do care if you like it. That's dope. That's awesome, because I'm very, like, you know, I'm a lot. I get that, you know, but I do appreciate those that appreciate what I got to offer. But outside of that, thank you to everyone that has been following me, to everyone that has subscribed to me within the last few years since I started my channel up until now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My channel is slowly but definitely surely growing. I just ask that y'all, you know, interact with me. I'm sorry, they is really fighting and stuff, but I just ask that y'all you know, just interact with me, because I'm still a small timer, you know what I mean? Still interact with me while you can, because one day there's a chance, a probability that I may be too much and too big where I can't respond anymore. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just gonna put it out there again in the atmosphere. All right, moving on. All right. So with my business, another takeaway is that I reconnected with people that are dear to me because of the business that I started. You know, just friends that you gradually like grow apart, or people that you haven't spoken to in years or anything like that. I was able to reconnect with, that purchased from me, and people that I used to be in a dance group with, the praise dance group years ago. Like, I just was reconnecting with all types of people. Not only that, but it gave me an opportunity to connect with people all over the East and some of right next to the East Coast, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate that. Something that is a big takeaway from 2020, because I'm not really a people person. That's why I do these videos, you know what I mean? Because I don't really be around people. So this is my way of having fun and, you know, enjoying life and enjoying people. But it allowed me, my job allowed me, my business allowed me to step outside of my comfort zone and really connect to people based off of my jewelry line. Okay, so that's dope. And by the way, yes, I handcraft and customize and design all of my jewelry. Okay, everything off a dome. God grant me the creativity to do it. With that being said, I reconnected with people and I disconnected with people. I've learned to properly cut ties with people and not give them too much airway to play with me. Whether that was my ex-friends, ex-teachers, ex-whatever. I don't care who you are. I've been so exposed to so much bullshit over the years. I just learned, we not finna go there. We just cut it off right now. We're not gonna elaborate on that. I'm just finna cut it off right now. And that's a big takeaway from me, because I'm not gonna say it's like, I really just don't have time for anything that doesn't bring me happiness. And I mean complete happiness. I really mean that. And if I feel like people don't appreciate the person that I am, because I'm really not that bad of a person. You can get on my bad side. That's a totally different story. But you're never just going to get nasty from me off the rip. Like, I'm just not that type of person. And I don't even like people, but I'm not rude. You know what I mean? So I exude a certain amount of respect for people that I expect them to give me. And when they don't give me that, whether I know them or not, then at that point, it is what it is. And with that being said, there was some altercations that occurred last year. You know, had to come out of retirement a couple of times. You know what I mean? Let it be known, I'm just not one to F with at the end of the day. And that was a takeaway for me, because I had to come out of retirement. Again, if you know, you know. Moving on. We can't elaborate on that. So I mentioned that I was going to get married in 2020. So the night before our set wedding day, my peoples threw me a surprise bachelorette party. And it was so funny. I had so much fun. It was so surreal because I knew deep down in my heart, I'm not getting married. I knew it wasn't going to happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen. And I think that's what made it more surreal, that like, wow, like, is it going to happen? Is it finally, really, are we finally about to say I do? Like, this is really happening. This is really happening. Like, that was what I was going through that night. And it got really, really drunk that night. But it was funny and it was fun. And, people that I was calling, because they're like, yeah, call your peoples. And I'm calling people that didn't even know I was back with my baby dad. They're like, I didn't even know. I'm like, I know. I didn't say anything to anybody because I didn't believe it either. Like, that's literally what I'm telling them. But, it was cool for what it was. At least I got to experience what it feels like to have a COVID-19 2020 bachelorette party. Yeah. Yeah, that was a takeaway. Never forget it. But when I have my next one for the man that I'm really about to marry, I know it's going to be 10 times better than that. Because just the thoughts going through your head, not knowing if you really about to marry somebody, is just somebody that you really not about to marry. You know what I mean? You just know, like, you just don't believe it. Like, I just couldn't believe. I was just like, I can't believe it, because I really couldn't. Let's see. I think I talked about everything. I had dating here twice, and I wanted to replace that with something else, but I can't remember what it was. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. I wanted to give y'all 20. I don't think I had 20 here, but I had dating here twice, and I'm not bringing that up again. And I'm about to give you celibacy, so I'm gonna just wrap it up after that. Especially we're almost 40 minutes again. So celibacy journey. That is the biggest takeaway from me, because I have been in situations where it was very, like, real tempting, very, very tempting. Like, if only we can go there. But I walked into 2021 very proud of myself and still able to say I'm celibate. And if I have to wait another year until I meet the man that's truly for me, then so be it. You know what I mean? One thing I did learn is that I still got a lot of freak in me, but no oral sex or anything. I'm not giving, I'm not receiving. Maybe did a little foreplay here and there, but I did not do anything to where I lost my dignity and my oath and my commitment to myself. And let me just explain this when it comes to my celibacy, because I decided, for the most part, I would like to maintain the celibacy until marriage. That's the goal for me. But with that being said, especially the little hot moments that I could have got caught up in, but very, very much so knew that it's not going to happen, but I could have if I allowed it. Like, all I have to do is change that way of thinking, so that lets me know that I'm very strong, but it also lets me know that, when I do get with someone, I know that I really, really care about and that I'm getting serious about. It's going to have to be certain requirements that we stay out of private places, because, honey, I can see me giving into a man that I'm in love with, falling for it. So it's easy to say, oh, I'm going to remain committed to myself, because there's nobody in the picture. You know what I mean? There's nobody that deserves your body. But if a man come along deserving my body, honey, I don't know how much I can hold out. Let's just pray that I can. Okay? That's what I would say. And I'm still going to wear my celibacy ring, mother effer. And with that being said, we're just going to wrap it up here. Oh, no. Before we do that, my makeup and serum. My makeup and skincare routine has got on fleek. Now, in the beginning, when I talked my first video of the new year or whatever the case it was, my expectations for my channel, I said that I wanted to give you guys more glam this year, more face full of makeup, and I did that. And my makeup routine and the makeup collection has changed phenomenally since the beginning of 2020, and here we are in 21, and can we just say yay beat, okay, period. And my skincare, you don't get flawless makeup like this without having flawless skin. My skincare routine has leveled up. My skincare collection has leveled up, okay? So definitely bringing that into 2021. Big takeaway. Okay, so now let's wrap this thing up. You know, I don't know if anybody else prays and thank God for bringing you into the next year, but especially after the last year we just had, if you haven't praised and thanked God for bringing you to the next year, for allowing you to see another day. There was so many Black men and women lives lost due to police brutality, let alone gang-related violence. It's a lot of that happening in my hood, domestic violence situations. You know, it's a lot of people. COVID, let's not forget COVID, okay? It's so many situations or horrific things that have happened to people in the 2020 that didn't get to see 2021. So I thank God that me and my loved ones got to make it to 2021, because after that year, you know, with all of my ups in the midst of downs, it's nothing but the grace of God and God's mercy and my obedience. I seen something that says sometimes it's not God's mercy that saved you. Sometimes it's your obedience. So let's keep that in mind. Now, this year, I intend to grow even more closer with God. I intend to build more as a woman. I intend to set higher goals for myself, you know, and those are the only expectations I have, you know, is with myself and my boundaries, and setting those things with people, in relationships with men, women and children. Shoot, my kids got me effed up. Okay. So, you know, and just, you know, moving out of state like I was supposed to last April, but couldn't because of the pandemic, lost a whole deposit and everything for that. But I plan on making these major moves this year by the grace of God, and it's not my will, it's God's will be done. So if you are watching this, I praise God for you, for allowing you to see another year, for allowing you to live to see 2021. And if you made it this far in the video, give it a thumbs up, because it's another long ass video. I'm not gonna make that a habit, I promise. So maybe I shouldn't say that on camera. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl Chrissy, and I'm tapping out with the fab sign. Peace and love and harmony, and be blessed. Mwah. Yes. Happy 2021, bitch!
내 자신이 미워서 한참을 울었어.